work it, make it, do it. Makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Purple Grizzly, and I've had some success with my past commentaries about my life stories, some interesting moments I've had in my life, and I got a special video for you guys today. This commentary is going to be a little bit more personal, more of a personal story, so hopefully you guys like it, and it doesn't go the wrong way, and I don't look like a complete idiot for making this. But, yeah, so the topic of this commentary is going to be about the first time I really fell for a girl. Like a mad crush, whatever you want to call it. It was the first time, I really fell for someone. So I'm going to start from the beginning and tell you guys how we met and how things went on from there. So, she was the best friend of my girlfriend at the time. This is in 7th grade. This was a long time ago. Like, oh, gosh. Like 5 years ago. Yeah, I mean, but the whole thing, like with my girlfriend, all that's another story. I ended up going in a pretty bad direction. Whatever you want to call it. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, so I mean, after my girlfriend and I broke up at the time, I started talking to this girl, and let's just call her what's a good name? Let's call her Angel Face. That'll work. So yeah, after I broke up with my girlfriend, we started talking all the time. We started hanging out, going to movies, and going to the fair and stuff together. And like we had, we really had a thing going, right? And it's like I completely fell for her. I was like, I thought about her all the time, and you guys know how it is. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to this story. So things were going great. We were hanging out all the time. And I was in middle school at the time, like I said, and there was these things where I live. There's dances. They're not associated with the school at all. Like there were school dances. She went to a different school than me though. These were more like just dances downtown for middle schoolers. So I would go to those with her, and we'd have fun. But one time I went with my friend, and I was supposed to meet her there. And let's call this friend of mine Joe. Right? It's not his real name. These aren't their real names. But so she ended up meeting Joe that night because he was one of my good friends at the time. And I guess within like 2 hours, the freaking few weeks, that connection we had together kind of went down the drain. Because I don't know what happened. Just something happened between her and Joe, and they kind of had a thing going, and they were, I guess, dating for like a few days, and that didn't work out because she found out how immature he was. He was really immature at the time, and so that kind of ended. And so once again, we started hanging out after that happened, and I was just trying to get the courage, to ask her out, or like on a real date, even though like we kind of had dates, but we weren't really, they weren't really official, I guess, because, yeah, you guys get the idea. But yeah, so after that, I'm like getting, closer and closer of like actually getting my dream girl, right? So what happens is my best friend at the time, I'm going to call him Beaver because there's a story behind that, and I'm not going to tell you guys that story. But yeah, so my best friend Beaver, right? I mean, he's had past luck with the ladies. He's a cool guy. So I'm like, hey, dude, you're my best friend. I'm gonna tell you about this girl I really like. Is there anything you could help me? Give me some tips. Maybe help me, become her boyfriend or whatnot. This was 7th grade. It was, you guys get the idea. So I call her from his house, right? And we talk and stuff on the phone. And then little did I know, after I left his house and went home the following day, he started talking with her behind my back. And he knew, like, I seriously opened up to my best friend about how I really like this girl. And he started talking to her behind my back. And a few days later, I was going to hang out with her on Halloween. And that kind of fell through because I had some obligations or whatnot. I had to do something. I don't remember. So, then a few days after Halloween, I was talking to him, and I asked him what he did for Halloween. He really wasn't saying anything. And then so I talked to her, and I talked to her friends and whatnot, and I find out that he actually went out and hung out with her on Halloween, right? And did a little more investigation because I was expecting him to help me out with this whole situation I was in, and I found out that he was actually he was like kissing her and stuff, and like they were making out, and it was a really painful thing to find out because I literally like I'd fallen for this girl so hard, and then my best friend does that. So I'm sure you guys have had a similar instance where something like that happens. It's just there's always some guy like friend who does a total douchebag move, and we haven't been friends since then. This was a long time ago, like I said. So from then on, he kind of in a way turned her against me. Like, I mean, I'm the type of person I treat girls with total respect. I have a lot of respect for them, and I don't treat women like objects. I think that's completely wrong. And so I would continue going to these dances, the middle school dances, with my friends, and we'd just hang out and stuff, because it was a thing to do at the time. And I would always see her there with him, and they had a thing going for a few weeks actually, and it would he really, I don't know why he had a sudden hate for me, and he always wanted to like try and piss me off by just touching her and stuff, and always looking at me across the gymnasium, whatever it was in, and so that really sucks. I mean, he was my best friend. He started doing this, and so that continues going on. I mean, I'm having a hard time with this because I was in foster care at the time. Like I said, there's a whole other story behind everything, and that was a hard time in my life, and this just kind of was the icing on the cake. So they ended up breaking up because he was treating her really bad, and let's just say he was treating her bad, and he kind of went a little too far with things. So I'm not gonna get into it. So yeah. Then, the pattern continues. We started hanging out again. We started, just connecting more and more, and she realized how stupid she was that she like kind of turned against me with him. And yeah, and then I mean, I was about to ask her out and stuff like that. And then I found out she had a boyfriend, right? And so we're going to movies and stuff, and her boyfriend's always coming. It was really, really awkward. And the best way I could describe this boyfriend, like, I mean, he's a cool guy, he's a nice guy. I haven't talked to him for years since this like moment I'm gonna explain. So we'd go to the movies, right? And he'd always be there. But the best way I could describe him is like as an inactive sub, right? Someone like he was her boyfriend, like he kind of had the name, but he really wasn't her boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like wouldn't even talk or anything. It was just I don't know. He was like an inactive sub, right? So I guess they just kind of broke apart again, and like everything else, and like this is the third or fourth time this has happened. It sucks, man, bruh. So yeah, I mean, they broke apart. So this is like the third or fourth guy she's gone through since I've had this mad crush on her. And one day, I really opened up to her, and I told her how I felt. And the best way, like, I think I described it to her was, like, there's the whole analogy. There's millions of fish in the sea, right? But it's like every time I'm casting out my hook and she's about ready to catch it, I'm about ready to bait it, some other fisherman comes out and has a better hook, with a nice fat piece of juicy bait on the end of it, and end up throwing the fish back. So, I mean, went through multiple guys, and once again, we started hanging out and connecting more. I opened up to her and told her how I felt, and we started growing really close. Things were probably at its best. She was coming over to my house all the time, and we were just really connecting. But then all of a sudden, she just kind of stopped talking to me. So I don't really know what happened. This isn't more of a asking for advice commentary because it was so long ago. I haven't talked to her really in like a year, so I don't know. Hopefully you guys can relate to this. Be sure to check out my channel if you guys are new to me. I got some other life stories, not so depressing, more funny and happy, I guess. So yeah, hopefully you guys like this. Feel free to subscribe. I will catch you guys later. Purple Grizzly is out.